Hi everyone. Welcome to the Sheetly Studio channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the all-in-one task tracker template. For this tutorial, I'll be using the Google Sheets version. But if you're using Excel, don't worry. Everything works pretty much the exact same way. The only minor difference is how you input the dates, and I'll show you exactly how to do that later on. Alright, let's start with the Setup tab. Here, we're going to look at the Owners and Category sections. In the Assignee column, simply list the names of the people who will be given tasks later on. And right next to it, over here, you can list out the different categories for your tasks. Okay, now let's move on to the working schedule. Setting this part up is really important because it actually drives the formulas and formatting over in the Gantt Chart tab. Just to give you an example, let's say we have a day off on March 11th. I'll type that in here, and let's just name the description holiday. Right next to that, we have the working days table. Here, you just need to check the box for the days you actually work. So, if your work week includes Saturdays, simply tick the checkbox for Saturday. But for this example, I'm only checking Monday through Friday, which leaves Saturday and Sunday as the weekend. Next, let's take a look at the status table. On the left side, you can put the icon for your status, and on the right side is the name of that status. I've actually pre-filled this template with default icons and names to save you some time. But of course, feel free to change or customize this list however you like. And finally, we have the Kanban stage column. Just list out your different stages right here. The cool part is, whatever you type in this column will automatically show up over in the Kanban Board tab. Now, take a look at the menu section on the left side. This lets you quickly jump to any tab you want. For example, if I want to go to the dashboard, I just click the dashboard link, and it takes me straight there. Want to go back? Just click the Setup link, and we're right back in the Setup tab. If you ever want to hide this menu to get more screen space, simply click the minus icon up here at the top. A warning prompt will pop up. You can actually check the box to silence this warning for 5 minutes. Just click OK to proceed. And whenever you want to bring the menu back, just click the plus icon, hit OK. And there it is. Alright, now let's head over to the Variable Task tab. As you can see, this chart right here is designed to give you a clear visual overview of all your variable tasks at a glance. Now, let's scroll straight down to the table below. This column on the far left is where you'll mark your tasks as completed. And right next to it, you can simply type in your tasks under the Task Name column. Moving over to the Category column, if you click on this little drop-down arrow, you'll see a list automatically appear. This is actually the exact same list of categories that we set up earlier in the Setup tab. Moving on to the Status column, it works exactly the same way. Click the drop-down here, and your preset list of statuses will instantly pop up. Moving along, here is the Priority column. Next up is the Assignee column, and just like the others, clicking the drop-down icon will automatically show you the list of names we set up earlier. And right here is the Progress column where you can easily track how far along you are on a task. The really cool part? Whatever progress you enter here will automatically update the data bars over in both your Kanban Board and your Gantt Chart tabs. Next up is the Start Date column for your tasks. Just a quick reminder from earlier. If you're using Google Sheets, you can simply double-click the cell to bring up the calendar. But if you're on Excel, you'll need to type the date in manually. And right next to that, we have the End Date column. Moving on to the Days Left column. This automatically calculates how many days you have until a task is due. Now, here is a really important note. Any column that has a colored background contains automatic formulas. Please do not edit or delete anything in these colored cells, otherwise it will break the formulas. Next up is the Kanban Stage column. Make sure you select a stage from the drop-down here, so that your task will actually show up as a card over on the Kanban Board tab. Moving on to the Important and Urgent columns. These two checkboxes automatically figure out your next steps in the Decision column. Let me show you an example right here. As you can see, if I only check the Important box, the decision says Schedule. If I leave both of them unchecked, it changes to delete. Now, if I only check the urgent box, it switches to delegate. And finally, if I check both of them, it tells me to do now. All right, let me just quickly put that back to how it was. Here is the notes column, and here is the decryption column. Okay, let's scroll back up to the very top. Right here, you'll see today's date. Next to it is a quick breakdown of your workload, your total variable tasks, the tasks you've already completed, and your remaining tasks that still need to be done. Over here is your total number of overdue tasks. Speaking of overdue, as you can see down in the table, the template automatically highlights any overdue tasks in red, so you can spot them easily. And lastly, these boxes show the tasks that are due today and due tomorrow. Now let's head over to the far left side of the screen. Right here, you have a visual progress bar showing your overall progress across all variable tasks. Right below that is a super handy feature called Category to highlight. This lets you easily spotlight specific types of tasks. For example, if I select work from the drop-down, boom, all tasks with the work category are instantly highlighted in the table. You can even go a step further and highlight a very specific task within that work category if you need to. For instance, if I select Run Quarterly Performance right here, you'll see that specific task instantly gets highlighted in the table below. All right, now let's jump over to the Recurring Task tab. Unlike the other tab, this is where you'll be putting all of your repeating or routine tasks, and you will need to manually input these tasks into the table yourself. Starting right here with the task name column. I'll just add one task real quick to show you how this works. Let's say I type in my recurring task. Next, for the category, I'll pick Personal from the dropdown. Then we move on to the frequency column, which asks how often this task happens. You have options like every week, 2 weeks, every month, and more. For this example, let's just go with every week. Moving right along to the first date column. Now, I have a really important tip for you here. I highly recommend listing out all your recurring tasks first, before you start checking off any boxes on the schedule. Also, if you ever need to add a brand new task later on, you must set its first date to either today or a future date. Please don't pick a date in the past, because doing that will completely mess up your recurring schedule list. So for the first date, I'll just go ahead and pick today's date. Moving right along to the end date, you can honestly pick whatever date works best for you. But for this example, I'll just select the 26th. Next up is priority. Let's set this one to high. And finally, for the assignee, I'll just choose Tyler from the dropdown. Moving right along to the important and urgent columns. This actually works exactly the same way as the decision matrix we looked at earlier in the variable task tab. So, as a quick example, I'll go ahead and check off both the important and urgent boxes here. Okay, now let's hop over to the recurring schedule tab. Pay close attention to the task details section right here. From the task name column all the way over to the decision column, everything is completely automated with formulas. So the only things you actually need to do on this page are checking off this box on the far left when a task is finished and updating the dropdown in the status column. Now, right over here is the New Changes section. This is super helpful because sometimes your plans change. If a specific recurring task needs a different schedule, priority, assignee, or decision for this time around, this is exactly where you can update it. Now let's jump back over to the task details area. Right here, you can actually see the exact task we just created over in the Recurring Tasks tab. Notice how the date is set for March 12th? Well, if we scroll down and take a look at the following week, boom, there it is again. The template automatically lists the task for you. This means you never have to waste your time manually typing out your repeating tasks one by one ever again. Just tying back to that really important warning I gave you earlier in the Recurring Tasks tab. If you accidentally set a first date to a date in the past, your entire list of recurring tasks will shift. That means it won't line up correctly with the checkboxes or statuses you've already updated on the schedule. Okay, for this task right here, I'm just going to update its status to not started. Oh, and stick around, because a little bit later I'll be showing you exactly how these handy hyperlinks connect everything to the other automated tabs. And before we move on, if you scroll back up to the top here, This entire section gives you a quick overview and all the details you need for your recurring schedule. Now, taking a look at the overdue counter right here. As you can see, we currently have one overdue task, and the template automatically highlights it in red, so it really stands out. Up here at the top, you'll see this pop-up menu, which is perfect for filtering and sorting your schedule. Let's say you only want to see tasks you've already finished. Just click the filter icon, uncheck the false box, and hit OK. Instantly, the table updates to show only your completed tasks. Alternatively, if I go in and only check the false box, it automatically filters the list to show just the tasks that still need to be done. And whenever you want to reset everything back to normal, simply click that filter icon again, hit Select All, and click OK. Let me give you another quick example of how powerful this filtering is. Suppose you want to filter by category. If I go in and just select Work and Personal and hit OK, the table instantly updates to only show tasks matching those two categories. You can even filter by the month. Let's say I only want to see my schedule for March. I simply uncheck everything else, select March and press OK. And boom, only my March tasks are visible. Alright, to clear these filters and get your full list back, just click the filter icon again, choose Select All, and hit OK. Then, just do the exact same thing over on the category filter to reset everything back to normal. Now let's jump back to those new changes columns we talked about earlier. Let me show you a quick example. Let's say I need to reschedule this Sunday meal prep task. I'll just change the date right here to March 12th, and I'll also bump up the priority to very high. Alright, let's head over to the Tasks filter tab. Now, here's the best part about this entire page. Absolutely everything is completely automated. You don't have to manually input a single thing on this tab. It automatically pulls in every single one of your tasks, both your variable tasks and your recurring tasks, all into one massive list. Now, the cool thing about having everything on one page is that you can easily filter all your tasks right here. Just like we did earlier, you can filter by category or honestly by any other column you need. For example, if I only want to see my work tasks, I simply filter the category column for work, and boom, the entire table instantly updates to show only those specific tasks. And the best part is, you can actually stack these filters on any column you want. Let's take the priority column, for example. I'm going to filter this one specifically for high priority tasks. So now, as you can see, the table is only showing me tasks that are both categorized as work and have a high priority. Alright, to set everything back to normal, I'll just quickly go into the columns we just filtered, hit Select All, and click OK, so we have our full list again. Up here, you also have a custom due date range filter. Now, a quick pro tip. I highly recommend clearing out these dates once you're done finding your specific tasks. This feature is a massive time saver because it stops you from having to manually scroll through your huge list of variable and recurring tasks. Let me show you an example. Let's say I only want to see what's due exactly today. I'll set the start date to today and the end date to today as well. And just like that, the table automatically updates to show only today's tasks. Now check this out. Let's say you want to quickly update a task. You don't have to go hunting for it through all your tabs. Just click on the task right here, click this referring link, and boom. It takes you straight to the exact cell where that task lives. Notice something cool here? The original due date was March 9th, but it jumped to March 12th. That's because the entire template automatically syncs with the new changes override we did earlier. Let's go ahead and change the status here to completed. Now, if we hop back over to the Tasks filter tab, look at that. The status instantly updated to completed. The due date reflects our new change, and the priority is very high. Before we move on, just one crucial reminder. Make sure you clear out this due date filter when you're done searching. If you leave dates in here, it can actually mess up the data pulling into your other automated tabs. Just to be super clear on this, the whole point of this due date range filter is purely to help you track down tasks for a specific time frame instantly. It's built entirely to save you from endlessly scrolling up and down your variable tasks or recurring schedule tabs trying to find things manually. Finally, let's take a quick look right back up here. This top section is your ultimate master summary. It automatically pulls in every single piece of information across all your variable tasks and recurring tasks right into one place, so you get the full picture instantly. All right, let's jump over to the Decision Matrix tab. Just a quick heads up. This entire tab is fully automated with formulas. The only things you'll be interacting with are the filters up top. You can filter by your due date range, category, assignee, or use the Show Only dropdown to switch between all tasks, done tasks, and undone tasks. Let me give you a quick example. I'll set the start date to today and the end date to exactly 1 week from now. As you can see, the matrix instantly pulls up all my tasks that are due between March 12th and March 19th. And right down here, it beautifully organizes all of them into your 4 decision categories: Do Now, Schedule, Delegate, and Delete. Okay, let me quickly adjust the start date back to March 1st, just so we have a few completed tasks in there and can see the progress bars update. Now let's play with the Show Only filter. If I switch this to Done Task, boom, the matrix instantly hides everything except the tasks we've already finished. Let's change it to Undone Task. Now it automatically flips and only shows the tasks that still need our attention. It's that simple. All right, I'll just switch it back to All for now. You also have the category filter right here. If I choose Work as an example, the matrix automatically sorts and displays only tasks assigned to that specific category. You can also use the assignee filter to quickly see who's doing what. For instance, I can check just Jason's tasks, or switch it over to see just Sarah's tasks. All right, I'll go ahead and set everything back to select All for now. Now, check out how easy it is to manage your workflow directly from here. Let's change the Show Only filter back to Undone Tasks. As you can see, down here are my Do Now tasks, and over here are the ones I need to schedule. Let's say I actually want to update one of these. You don't have to search for it. Just click on the task right inside the matrix, hit this referring link, and it jumps you straight to the exact cell where that task lives on the other tabs. So, I'll just go ahead and check this box to mark the task as done, and I'll also update its status to completed. Now, let's hop right back over to the Decision Matrix tab. And would you look at that? Since our filter is still set to Undone Tasks, that exact task has automatically disappeared from the schedule list. It keeps your workspace totally clean and up to date. Of course, if you actually want to view that completed task again, all you have to do is change the Show Only dropdown back to All. Once you do that, the task we just updated will immediately reappear in the matrix. In the top section, you'll find your decision progress charts. These are completely color-coded to match your tasks: green for Do Now, blue for Schedule, orange for Delegate, and purple for Delete. Over in the Decision section right next to it, you can easily track your exact numbers for every single category. It breaks down your total tasks, your done tasks, and the ones you still have left to do. Now let's head over to the Kanban Board tab. This entire sheet is fully automated with formulas and custom formatting. The only thing you can edit here is the Smart Filter section to adjust what shows up on your board. Under the Show Only filter, if I choose Done Task, the board automatically displays only finished items. Selecting Undone Task instantly changes the Kanban cards to show your incomplete tasks. Let me just revert that back to All. You can also customize how your cards are organized using the Sort tool here. For instance, I'll select Progress and change the sort order to descending. Just like that, the entire board instantly sorts your tasks, putting the ones with the highest progress right at the very top. And just like our other tabs, you can filter this board by category as well. If I select Work, the board instantly updates to display only my work-related Kanban cards. Let's add the assignee filter to the mix. If I choose Jason, the Kanban board automatically updates to show just his workload. Okay, let me just undo that assignee filter real quick. What if we want to filter by priority? I'll select High, and just like that, the board transforms again to follow that specific filter rule. Now, right below the filters, you'll see this handy little information section, which is basically a color key for your board. For example, if you look at this pink card right here, that color immediately tells you it's a high priority task. The template actually color codes every single card automatically based on its priority level. I put this guide down here so you never get confused, making it super easy to analyze your entire board at a glance. All right, let's move on to the Gantt Chart tab. Now, right up here at the top, you can actually customize the name of your project timeline. For this example, let's just type in March project. And right next to it is your project lead. You can completely customize who is in charge of this project. Let's go ahead and change this one to Tyler. And just a quick reminder here, guys. Please remember that you should never edit or delete any of the columns or cells that have a colored background. Those are packed with automatic formulas, and changing them will basically break how the template works. Moving over to the task column. All you have to do here is pick whatever tasks you want to map out on your timeline. Just remember, this dropdown pulls directly from your variable task tab. So, if you want a new task to appear on this list, make sure to add it over there first. Let's select yoga class to test it out. The moment I choose it, you'll see the sheet instantly pulls in all the data for that task. All right, let me just quickly go ahead and add in a few more tasks right below this, just so we can really build out this timeline. Now, what if you need to update one of these tasks? Simply click the Edit Task link right next to it, hit that referring link, and it immediately jumps you to that exact cell in the Source tab. Let's do a quick update here. I'll check the box to mark it as done, switch the status to completed, and crank the progress all the way up to 100%. All right, let's head back to the Gantt Chart tab. And check this out. As you can see, the sheet automatically synced everything for us. The progress bar updated to 100%, and the status officially changed to completed. Moving over to this right section, you get a complete visual overview of your project timeline for all of your tasks. Plus, right above the chart, there's a handy legend so you instantly know what all the different colors stand for. As an example, the black formatting always highlights today's date, while the red section marks your final project deadline. Up top is your overall progress, giving you the big picture for all your tasks combined. Now, this template actually supports up to 15 phases. If your screen is getting too cluttered, you can hide any phase you aren't using. Click the minus icon over here, press OK, and that phase is instantly hidden. Need it back? Just hit the plus icon, press OK, and you're good to go. You also have total freedom to customize the colors of your phase tables. Watch this. If I change this drop-down to yellow, the whole table automatically turns yellow. I can switch it to orange, pink, blue, or green, whatever fits your vibe. Okay, let me just put it back to purple. And it doesn't stop there. You can even customize the color of the actual project timeline bars for each specific task. For instance, if I change this one right here to yellow, you'll see the timeline bar instantly changes to match it perfectly. You literally have the freedom to pick whatever color combination you want to display on your chart. You can also reuse this Gantt chart for entirely different projects. Just navigate down to the Gantt Chart tab, click the arrow icon, and hit Duplicate. This creates a completely separate chart for you to use. Now let's switch to the Dashboard tab. This entire page is fully automated. All you need to do is select the month from this drop-down. And over on the right, you have additional options to filter your dashboard exactly how you want it, using category, assignee, status, and priority. Now, taking a look at this dynamic mini calendar. This feature is super cool because it automatically formats the dates based on your task schedule. So, any date that lights up in blue means you have a task due on that specific day. And if you see a date highlighted in orange, that is the system warning you that a task is officially overdue. And you can find the quick color guide for that right down here. Okay, now let's shift our focus over to the Today Tasks section. Right at the top here, you get a complete summary of everything you need to do today, along with a visual look at your daily progress. And down here in the table, it automatically lists out every specific task that is due today. Notice how it instantly crosses them off like this once they're completed. Now, just like we've seen before, if you ever need to update one of these tasks, you don't need to go searching. Just click right on the task, hit the referring link, and it immediately jumps you to that exact cell, so you can make your edits. Look at that. We're exactly where we need to be on our March 12th task. Now, I'm just going to quickly tick this off as done, change the status over to completed, and type in 100% for the progress. All right, let's jump back over to the Dashboard tab. And look at that. The daily progress bar for today's tasks has already updated completely automatically based on what we just did. Also, if you notice this little strip of color right on the left side of these tasks, that actually matches the priority level of the task. And the coolest part is, you can cross-reference those exact colors with the priority chart right over here. For instance, you can see that this task with the orange strip perfectly matches the high priority color on the chart. Moving over to the right side, you'll see the visual charts for your tasks by assignee and your tasks by status. And if we look right down here, we actually have a complete mini dashboard dedicated specifically to all the tasks that are due within the month you set up earlier. Right below that, we have another awesome section, your Decision Tasks Dashboard. This area gives you a complete visual breakdown of all your decisions for that exact same month you selected earlier. Over in this section, any tasks inside the orange table are the ones that are currently overdue. And right next to it in the blue table, you'll find your upcoming tasks. And by now, I'm sure you guys know the trick. If you ever need to update any of these tasks, just click directly on the task itself to use the hyperlink. Now let's switch over to the Monthly Calendar tab. This entire tab is completely automated. Your only step is to go to the Calendar Setup area and update the year and month. For instance, I'll change the month to April. Give it a moment to refresh, and now you can clearly see all of your tasks scheduled for April. Okay, let me just switch this back to March. Now, you can also filter your tasks right over here. For now, let me specifically show you how this Do Not Show status filter works. And just a quick reminder, these little images you see on the left side of each task are actually your specific status icons. For example, let's select Completed right here. Give it a quick second to load, and boom. As you can see, the calendar automatically hides any task that has a completed status. It completely cleans up your view. All right, I'll just go ahead and clear that Do Not Show filter so we can get our original view back. We'll let it load for just a second, and there they are. Now, if you look right over here at the legend, this gives you all the information you need about what each specific color on your tasks actually means. Now, here's a really cool visual feature. You can actually customize how the tasks are color-coded. You have the option to format the task colors by either priority or decision. Watch this. If I switch this drop-down over to decision, all the task colors on the calendar instantly update to match the decision legend. It's a great way to see your board from a different perspective. All right, I'll just change this back to priority for now. Next up is the Weekly Calendar tab. Just like the monthly view, everything here does the work for you automatically. You just have to set the week start date in this column. You guys know the drill. Double-click for Google Sheets or type it in manually for Excel. Watch what happens if I change this date to March 12th. The template instantly recalculates everything, so your new week officially starts on March 12th. At the very top of the page, this section gives you all the crucial info you need. First, it displays the specific start and end dates for this week. Then, it counts up your total tasks and tracks the ones you've successfully completed. Moving over to this side, you have a handy progress bar showing your total progress for the entire week. As for the filter section, all of these options work exactly the same as the ones we already covered in the Monthly Calendar tab. And there you have it. You now know everything you need to master this template. If you haven't gotten it yet and want to use this task tracker for yourself, just click the link down in the description below to get your copy. I put a lot of work into this, so if it helped you out, I'd really appreciate it if you could support Sheetly Studio by hitting that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and happy tracking.